Man, that North Atlantic weather.
Yes.
It's no joke,
Whew.
is it?
No, it is not. I don't know how fast it's gusting out there, but it's blowing.
And it says it's 10 degrees, which is about 50, but it feels like 6,
Yeah.
which is about 42.
Yeah.
But, you know, 40 degrees with a 40-kilometer wind,
blowing
rain right off the cove,
right off the North Atlantic.
Right off the North Atlantic is pretty cool. So hopefully it'll clear up. Our plans today were to hike, but we would freeze to death. So I think we're going to go try to find some lunch instead.
Yes, yes. We're headed back down the coast today. This was when we were headed up to Lonso Meadows, where it was raining so hard and so fogged in that we knew the Labrador Strait, the Strait of Belle Isle, was just right there, but we certainly couldn't see it. Where are we headed, dear?
So is that Labrador over there? It can't be,
It can't be. I don't think it's that close.
There's some waves.
But that would be interesting to look up. I'll do that in a minute.
I think today we're heading to, right now we're heading to a little town called Flowers Cove.
So after a little quick map checking, that is in fact Labrador right over there, and we are almost directly across from where we camped at Pinware and Lanso Wolf Cove. So that's pretty cool. Why it took an hour and 45 minutes to come across from where Quebec is down here a little bit to St. Barb on Newfoundland, I don't really know, unless
it's
perhaps
a long ways.
It is a long ways. But maybe that's the safest route right through there, because I know this strait is very dangerous.
This is where we landed this afternoon. We're going to dry out a little bit before we head further south tomorrow. This is Anchor Point in the town of Flowers Cove. Has provided some RV camping spots here. It's free. They do have a donation box, so we'll be sure to put some money in that. Actually, we already have. Beautiful spot. It's kind of early, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Finally, for the first time, we're seeing the sun today. It's been cold today. And we're still, with the sun out, we're still in the low 50s, so it's okay when you're out of the wind. But anyway, look at this beautiful spot. Even picnic tables. I'll walk over here to the beach. I've been over there already. I find it kind of interesting. We'll go take a look at it. Cool rock right here. Way across the cove or the bay right there, there's an old lighthouse on an island that you can see from here. I probably cannot pick it up in the photos, but there's the town of Flowers Cove right across the little cove. A little too rocky for my likes of a beach, but I guess if you needed to bathe, it'd be okay. Looks like a place to store lobster pots.
And we've driven far enough south in Newfoundland this morning, although it's not been that far, that we're now at the Gulf of St. Lawrence rather than the Isle of Belle Strait or the Labrador Strait, depending on where you are and what it's called. We're headed for Gros Morne National Park.
It looks like we found a place called the Arches Provincial Park. We're going to run down here and take a look at the natural sea arches down here. We don't get to see them every day, that's for sure. This was a cool random find. I'm glad we stopped. What do you think so far?
Well, I'm very glad to be here. I think it is totally not anything I was expecting. This is Tablelands in Gros Morne National Park. And the mantle is exposed. And you're walking along the mantle, you're walking along or on the mantle in places. So that's pretty cool.
What do you mean by mantle?
Well, like the mantle is an inner layer under the crust. So like we're walking on something that is not usually exposed. 500 million years ago, the ancient continents collided, creating the Appalachian mountain chain and upthrusting the mantle here. And then about 400 million years ago, the erosion started, including glaciation, and that's how this mantle that's normally far below the crust is exposed. It kind of looks like Mars, and according to park officials, it is the worst soil for vegetation. It was a short, easy hike up this old roadbed that connected the towns on the St. Lawrence Bay to those inlands.
We're right outside of the little fishing village of Rocky Harbor, and we're taking a look at the famous Lobster Cove Lighthouse, which was built in 1897. And it features a nice little museum in here. There's the signal flags, which spell out the word duckish for today. Duckish meaning overcast weather. Nice little exhibit. We've decided we would hike the coastal trail this morning. Looks like a nice little 6-kilometer out and back hike along the coast. What do we got in here?
I don't know. I think this is where the elves might live, and or a Bigfoot.
Wow.
There's this tree structure.
Tree structure. OMG.
Super cool.
I definitely think this is where the elves might live. And that might be where the coastal Bigfoot comes through the portal.
Maybe.
tree structure. This could not be done by the hand of man. The work is too intricate. Okay, I'm going to get out of here before the fairies all need to sleep.
Okay. I'll follow you.
It's kind of spooky. I don't know that I would spend the night in here.
I don't think I would spend the night.
I don't even think I would let any unattended children play in here.
Look at this. Look at the size of that mushroom before something destroyed it.
Wow.
Probably whatever lives in that hole right there.
Yeah. Okay, that was very cool.
That was cool.
In December of 1909, the SS Effie, which was a popular steamship at the time, was intentionally ran aground into the rocks by the captain during a fierce storm. He did this in order to try to save the passengers. The locals in the area quickly came to their aid. They rigged a rope and a bosun's chair and was able to save all the passengers, including a baby that they put in a mail bag. It was quite the ordeal, very well reported at the time, and went down in popularity with even a folk song about it, so that's pretty cool. You see all the wreckage that is still here on the shore 105 years later. Quite spectacular. Stuff will be here for another 100 years, I'm sure. Take a look at how steep that bank is right there and imagine what it was like to try to get the passengers, the people, up and over that bank to safety and out of the snow and ice of the storm here. Just unbelievable. It's a pretty cool history and a very interesting story. So glad I got to see it.
The Western Brook Pond boat tour starts with an easy 3-kilometer walk in on a really well-groomed trail. It ends at the boathouse where you get on the boat to take the 16-kilometer ride up into the fjord. The fjord is actually a landlocked and freshwater fjord at this point, but once upon a time it did connect to the Gulf of St. Lawrence and was in fact a true fjord. Some of the cliffs are 2,000 feet tall and are 1 billion years old, and of course were created thanks to glaciation. And the pond is deep, with its deepest basin down at 561 feet below the surface. The views were incredible once the fog lifted, the sun peeked out, and it was just absolutely lovely. We were there on August 6th, and it was cold. It was bone-chilling cold for us Southerners. And when the boat returned, after crossing the lake, pond, at a little bit higher speed than it did up the fjord, we got to the snack bar at the boat shed and had some hot coffee and actually surprisingly good chowder. Definitely a 10 out of 10. Would recommend 100%.
All right, friends, thank you very much for coming along with us. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more videos coming of beautiful Newfoundland. We'll see you soon.